Hey guys, what is going on? This is Ip of RageQuitTV, gonna be casting a game between roxkis.Abver and Empire.Happy. It is a TVZ on Shakuras Plateau. I don't know that much about Abver. I have seen him in tournaments. He is a very good Zerg player. I just don't really know too much about him. You can see him setting up his mineral splitting right now. The overload is going in the correct position. But let me tell you about a story before Stefano came around. Happy was the one that was absolutely demolishing the EU ladder, having a very impressive win-loss ratio. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's going to be people in the comments just praising Happy on his play. He is a ladder beast, and he does that by abusing every map. His strategies are very map dependent. He abuses them to the max, and he also has very good micro and macro to boot. We do have Abver doing an extractor trick, but the very first time I saw Empire.Happy was a YouTube video back kind of in the beta about him doing just marine splitting, and finally a Terran player is going for a gas before the barracks. I always talk about seeing the barracks finish at 245. Well, this may just be one of those games if it was cross-position Shakuras Plateau, because the Overlord is going to come on in here and go and see that gas finish quite early, and he may be thinking, okay, Hellions are going to be coming really early, and because of that, we should see Abver get an early spine crawler. Generally, you see Zerg players get a spine crawler around 5:05 on this map, so it finishes around the time Hellions come. But Happy's Hellions are going to be coming between 30 and 60 seconds faster due to that gas first. If he actually goes those Hellions, I think it would be a mistake not to, and you see him not even building that supply depot to completely wall it off. Is going to be going out with his SCV to go scout. Overlord is going to be making his way in the base and now going to be going behind the minerals. And he can get a count on the SCVs once he sees the gas. He'll know, okay, there's one SCV missing, but since you have this gas, it's not going to be a 2-Rax. And then he's going to see the SCV go on in his base, and he's going to know, okay, that is a scouting SCV that is missing. And Abver is coming in. We'll see if he ends up clicking that gas. I don't know if he did, but the gas being finished at 3 minutes, I think that's a little bit early, so he should know, okay, something out of the ordinary is up, and we'll see exactly when he ends up getting his spine crawler. Going to be going for this pool and delaying the gas, and this may be why Happy chose to go for that gas first, because Shakuras Plateau is a map where a lot of Zerg players just feel confident about holding the ramp with a queen and a spine crawler, and just delaying that gas until they get around between 38 and 45 drones, I think is the magic number, and then they go gas heavy. It's kind of like the Spanishawa style from the olden days. A lot of Zergs do choose to play that way on this map. However, with these extremely early Hellions, he's going to easily be able to run by and may even catch Abver off guard. But we do see him building 2 spine crawlers, and no Hellions are going to be getting past this wall. It is going to be way too risky. Abver knows what's up, and he's going to be just fine getting those spine crawlers. Of course, it does send him behind if Happy wasn't doing this. But if the Hellions get into your base, that can just be a lost game. And even Idris said a lot of Terran players underestimate the value of a Hellion. Oh crap, what just happened? If you were watching his stream a while ago, while he was saying that, the Terran player actually ran into his mineral line with like 15 Hellions, killing the entire mineral line. Eventually, Idris killed all those Hellions and won the game. But a lot of Terran players do kind of underestimate the power of a Hellion run-by and how easy it is to do. But with these 2 early spine crawlers, I don't think those Hellions have a chance. Abver also getting extra queens out. Has 2 queens, have them both down here. He is going to be missing an inject right here. As you do see, that larva is popping right now. There's no queen to do that. So he is going to be missing about 1 full inject. But he is just playing so safe because he knows Happy with these Hellions may want to do a run-by. And since he doesn't have any gas, if the Hellions got into the main, there would be absolutely no stopping them. It would just be GG right there. So that's the first thing about Happy. Just abusing the map, knows, okay, you're going to be going for a late gas. I'm going to be going for early Hellions. Yes, his econ does kind of get hurt a little bit by doing this gas first opener, but Abver's econ gets hurt a little bit trying to defend it. Roach 1 is going down to help prevent that. A relatively early starport, going for just very fast starport. He is getting a tank and siege tech with a medevac out, and I believe he may be going down and sieging this low ground just because, again, it is Happy. He loves abusing the map, and not taking expansion. Going to be doing one base play, and Happy, he does do one base play from time to time more often than other Terrans, I would say. But his one base play is very effective, very calculated, and by setting Abver behind, this should, in theory, do a lot of damage. If not, just win the game right here. We do have the Marines going to be going down. Going to be dropping them right here. Probably wait for 2 tanks to come out, because 2 tanks is a lot scarier than 1 tank. Can one-shot a lot of Lings. Actually, correctly saying that, it would be 1 volley a lot of Lings. Meanwhile, the Hellions just kind of hanging out there. Roach is coming down. And Happy not microing these Hellions. Instead, I don't know what he's doing. Not really focused on that. Maybe focusing on macro or something. He is expanding behind this little push from Happy. And this is coming at the 8-minute mark. Way before layers would be finished. And Abver even going for a relatively late layer. He has 150 gas and not doing anything with it. Tanks are going to be sieging up. We do have Abver trying to take this out because he knows that is a possibility, but he's just a little bit late. Those Hellions held on just too long, keeping that map patrol. 1 gas goes down, and that's not going to hurt Abver too much because he is banking a little bit of gas. Doesn't really have anything that is gas intensive at this portion of the game. The macro hatch is being built. There's Marines just trying to lure units back so the tanks can get shots off on them. And now going to be coming back. The tanks getting even more volleys. Medevacs pick up while the tanks are free to shell away. This 1 tank does have 3 kills. Meanwhile, the Lings and Roaches have taken out those rocks, and this will be an end to this engagement. Abver has defended against this beautifully. The medevac goes down. All these Marines will go down. Transfuse even going down on this Queen. Microing the injured Queen back. Abver defending this with ease. Going the workers killed. Only 3. And that was probably the best I've ever seen that defended. Happy making a small mistake not checking these rocks. If he had known what units attacking it, he could have just moved like one of the tanks back or the Marines back temporarily, killed these units off, wait till he got a 3rd tank, and use that tank to kind of defend those rocks. Abver going to be going on the aggression, but we do have the tanks just now on the high ground. Those Lings are going to be falling very quickly. Not even a single Marine does fall there. Roaches decide, okay, that is not a good idea at all. Meanwhile, medevac is going to be going around the map because we do have a double expand. And this is 4 hatches before lair. I know Stefano likes the 3 hatch before lair, but actually it's the 4 hatch with 1 macro hatch before lair. We had Abver stacking a lot of minerals and going to be just building mass hatcheries, but they are going to be taken out by Happy. At least this one will get canceled. The other one should be able to get defended, and that should be up. And there we go, the cancel goes off. The drone wants to build an extractor, but actually I lied. He's a little bit lazy and is just going to be falling, and that is going to be goodbye to those minerals. Medevac does pick up as a Ling does poke a Marine. Supply depot is going to be placed, and Happy is going to be going on 4 gases, and that means he should get more factories up. We'll probably see him go for another factory relatively soon, just to keep up with this gas production, because right now all he can do with his gas is build 1 tank at a time and get upgrades. He doesn't have an engineering bay that I see, so his gas use is going to be very limited soon as these upgrades do finish. I guess he can get medevacs as well, but he can support another factory. We will see Happy's gas starting to go up ever so slowly. Infestation Pit on the way. Another drop is going to be canceling this base yet again. He does know about the base down here. And I said it was going to be canceling it, but it didn't. Abver does get defense on that. And now it's a 4-base Zerg to just a 2-base Terran. And that is never a good situation to be in. But Happy getting that magical 6 tank count. I know you say that's 5. Well, the 6th one is just about done. And he will be moving out across the map. Has this one washed out. It doesn't have this one, so now he does. So maybe he did have that. Nope, there was a Ling there. Okay. So a little bit risky moving out with all these tanks, but he kind of got to see the army was mainly Roaches, and he's not really too worried about Roaches coming in trying to surround everything. It would be much worse if there were Lings. At the same time of moving out, he is going to be putting a lot of Marines here. We do have Abver going up to defend it, but now these tanks are getting in position right here. Lock this area down, and those Lings can no longer leave. And that is very critical. Now the Marines are going to come, and this 3rd base is in dire trouble. We are going to need Abver to somehow miraculously defend this. At the same time, Small drop going on over here. There's Lings are coming down. Roaches come, and Marines are backing one off. Stim does go down, and I think Abver may defend this. It is going to be close. Keep in mind, the one drop is going to be taking out the 4th base. And a few Marines coming out. That phone growth will seal the deal. Actually, no, he doesn't even need to use it. You can see just backing. Oh, no, he didn't have the energy. Infestors coming out just a little bit too early. Again, that 4th base did go down. Did try to drop down here. Didn't kill any drones, so maybe 2 drones. Not all that many. Happy, in the meantime, going to be taking his 3rd base. Hasn't got another factory just yet, so I was a little bit wrong. But you do see Happy sitting around 650 gas, so he definitely could have built another factory. As you do see, gas just going a little bit low, a little bit high, I should say, because he's not building his production to scale of his econ. And getting another factory would be very wise. We did see a mistake from, I forget who it was yesterday. It was a TVZ staying on one factory a little bit too long. Couldn't get the tank count up high enough to actually get any positioning after the Zerg killed off all the tanks. Drop is going to be coming in here, and that will be cleaned up. No, the Infestor doesn't decide to fungal growth it. Could have been taken out, but decided not to. Or maybe just wasn't paying attention. Marines take out that 1 Ling, and now Happy is going to send a few Marines over to this 1 Watchtower so he can safely take his base without being spotted. And there is another factory. So the 3rd base is coming up. He should be building a 3rd factory relatively soon. Generally, I'd say 1 factory per base is a safe way to play it. It's always better to have more factories than you can handle than less. Banelings coming in, and we will see if that target firing does go down on them. No target firing on those Banelings. There we go. There goes 1 target fire. But these medevacs may be taken out. Looks like, yes, they will. No more fungal growths. So all the infestors do get depleted on energy. And the medevacs do live, and that is a crucial mistake for Abver, because now Happy can move out without worrying about fungal growths. This 4th base has gone up yet again. As Happy is taking his 3rd base now. See another factory and more barracks being added on. 1 Ling just sitting up here trying to get a scout on, and Abver doesn't really have the best map vision for how much Happy's been dropping. No Overlords in this area, and that is a mistake. Does he have Overlord speed? No, he doesn't, and I think that's something every Zerg should be getting at this stage in the game. That Overlord speed upgrade is so vital to dealing with drops when you're going Infestor play. Infestor play can shut down drops, but only if you know they are coming. And looks like a lot of Lings are coming in to do an attack, running into these tanks. Nice tank split from Happy. I'm kind of surprised he doesn't have any on the high ground. And those Lings want to take out this PF, but it's just not happening. Instead, he's Happy going for some SCVs, but only took out 3 at the same time. Drop decides to back off. This Marines did not really get injured. They just saw this 1 Infestor and decided to book. Infestor has full energy, so it didn't do anything. But as I was saying, like if a drop comes here, by the time Infestors can get to this base, the damage is already done. You really need to see drops before they are coming to deal with them with Infestor play. And that's something that Stefano does so well. Even Destiny, I know many people don't respect Destiny for being a pro player, but he is the master of the Infestor play. I don't think anyone has better Infestor control than Destiny. Maybe overall play, not the best. Stefano definitely has him there. Idra has him there. A lot of Zergs have him there. But just the knowledge of his Infestors, knowing what he can take, that decision-making is so good. And his scouting, he always has good map control, just so he can see anything coming. And with Muta play, you didn't really have to worry about that because the Mutas would be patrolling around the map. And Happy doing a huge another death push at the same area, but this time it's with 6 tanks on this low ground, and this could be devastating. He doesn't leave really any defense back at home. That could be questionable, but we do have Abver just going to be trying to pull back to defend this, and defend this will be a task in itself. Tanks have beautiful positioning. And Broodlords, are they coming out? The Great Aspire is done. I don't see... No, there are 4. There are actually 4 Broodlords or 5 Broodlords out, so he will be able to defend this push. They came just at the right timing. If they were not out, then Happy would have taken out the lair/morphing hive, and that may have been GG'd right there. But there's Broodlords hitting some great timing. Now Lings kind of want to engage these tanks out of position, but deciding not to. Tanks going to be falling back to this PF. going to the upgrades, we have Abver sitting at 2-3, Happy sitting at 1-1, and that is not good at all. Even Infestor play would be devastating. Lots of Baneleys did go down. SCV is getting fungal growth, but staying alive. That fungal growth did really nothing. And again, this just goes with that Infestor control. Using Infestors is not as easy as just point and clicking. That energy management is so hard to do. And the thing that really shocks me is Happy doesn't really leave tanks on the high ground. For someone who abuses maps so much, Happy kind of leaving that one up in the air. Maybe he just doesn't like Infestor shooting Infested Terrans up there. I don't know. 2 Marines hanging out, but Happy is going to be gearing up to do another drop. 2 drops at the same time actually going to come down here. And this is where that Greater Spire and Infestation Pit are. If Happy can pick off both those, that will be devastating. But it looks like this was just a trick attack, because his main thing he wants to take out is economy over here. You still have this one Infestor with full energy. If he pays attention, gets a phone growth off, he can kill all these units, and not too much damage will be done. Infestor getting a little bit close to the battle. Kind of mistake there, and the Infestor not going to be picking off the medevac. We do have Happy moving across the map now. Going to be trying to take out this base. And Happy finally going to be taking his 4th base, definitely way behind in this economy. I can't wait to see the resources spent of this game. Going into the Lost, you can see not so different. It is different, but not as much as you would think, considering how long Abver has had a macro advantage. Now Happy just going to be pulling back. Did his damage, killed this one base. This is like minus 300 gas. If he doesn't rebuild that, that could be even more Marines now taking out the gas. But this essentially is less Broodlords that can be produced. And you can see Happy, he's on 3 bases, and his gas is very low, has multiple starports out, so he can get those Viking count up very high. We do have an engagement going on right now, though. Vikings going to be taking out these Broodlords, and there's no phone growth. There we go, phone growth go on the Vikings, and more Vikings do come. Nice Viking split from Happy. And that Broodlord will be falling, and all the Broodlords do go down. Happy keeps a few Vikings alive, even kept some way in the back. Vikings are at 1-0 upgrades, and we only had a single Spire come out of Abver. I really like the double Spire just because it gets those upgrades out so quick, and those upgrades help against the Vikings, but Abver is going to be going with Ultralisks. I think Ultras would actually been more efficient than Broodlords going into this, because those Marines right now just got their +2 attack not too long ago. If those Ultras had hit when the Marines had 1 attack or 2 attack, then Marines would only do between 1 and 2 damage to Ultras, which is just absolutely ridiculous. That is when Ultra play does shine, when you can get that 5 armor on them, when Marines are just hitting their +2 attack upgrade, when Marines do literally 0 damage to Ultralisks. That is when they are good, but getting them now, they are going to hit, as Happy does hit 3-3, so that window for the Ultralisk has been kind of missed. However, Happy does have a lot of Vikings up in the air that are going to be useless. This is, let's go into the supply, 26 wasted supply of the army on Vikings. This one base does go up, but this will be taken out relatively shortly. This one medevac just hanging out sees this base being taken as well. This hatch doesn't have a chance, and Happy going to be taking another base. But Abver has a relatively scary force against what Happy has. If Happy loses all his Vikings to fungal growths, like right now they are all clumped, if they get fungal growth when they are clumped, that is game over. He has to have good Viking control. I guess maybe it's not. He does have 3 starports out, so he can build 4 Vikings at a time. Would be cute if he got reactors on these while they're idle. Now can be building even more Vikings. Gain that count high. And we don't have any Ultras out just yet. It looks like that's what he's going to be using to reproduce. But we can see Abver, he is not stacking really too much, stacking 900 and 600. While Happy, he's actually stacking more. I don't know how he's doing this, but it looks like he is ahead on the macro. And I guess this base never really got down, or maybe it got taken out. I don't know. Let's see. No, this base hasn't been taken. This may be kind of a mistake from Abver not taking this base. So Happy now is on equivalent bases than Abver. And you can see no drones over at this one base. And there's got to be oversaturation somewhere. Right there, there's oversaturation at that patch. Those should be mining at this one base. That is putting Abver a little bit behind. But we do have a big engagement. Those Vikings are clumped up. Fungal Growth misses, hits a Thor and a Viking. Now Happy going to be splitting them up. And only 5 Vikings get Fungal Growth at a time. When he has so many, and all those Broodlords are going to be going down. 4 Ultras on the way. That chitinous plating is about halfway done. At the same time, we do have Happy going to be taking out this base, and this base goes down. Happy will have a huge econ lead. And here we go. This hatch is good as dead. It does go down, and now Happy is going to be mining off of more gases than Abver. And this drop did get cleaned up. But one more hatch goes down, and Abver is going to be in a horrible situation. Using a lot of fungals on this bio, kind of a mistake, but again, not really going for those Broodlords anymore, so maybe it's not a mistake. Generally, you want to save all those fungals for these Vikings, unless you can get a money fungal, but 5 bio units isn't really worth that energy. Especially when Happy at this point can reproduce 5 units in like half of a production cycle. Does him nothing to reproduce that. Abver trying to get as much of a split as possible. You can see him clumping up. All those tanks go down. We have a lot more tanks off over in the back. It's only 6 tanks out. Vikings are going to land on this high ground and be able to do DPS, but be safe. And Abver, he is, I was about to say he is going to be doing one of the smartest things, and yes, he is going to be going for this base. It's a PF. This base is a PF. Those can't lift. So both of these bases will be going down, and Abver will be evening up the macro by taking out both of these bases. But what of his army will he lose? If he had Overlords and he could pick up, go down here, and escape, this would be absolutely beautiful. But he doesn't. Or even a Nidus Worm. That would be nice to play so he can get all these units out, bring the Ultras back, transfuse them, get them back up in HP. But now, Happy could just siege up tanks right here and trap all of the Ultras. This one drop did get cleaned up. And Happy should be trapping them. Yes, it looks like he wants to trap all the units right here. Here we go. Abver trying to leave, and Happy does get them all trapped. Ultras coming in will be taking a lot of damage. The weak ones not being targeted. All the Vikings get landed, and all the Ultras fall. And Happy not in. Happy is in a great spot. Abver, not so much. Happy still mining off this one base. Abver still mining off this base. But it's 183 supply to 99. Going to this loss tab. Yeah, that's not looking so good anymore. He needed a better exit strategy after taking out both these bases. This lane looks like he's burned just a little bit off. And this one as well. Maybe that's on purpose. Bioplate is going to be coming in, taking out the Spine Colas. Fungal Growth does go down on what he can get. But not that many Infestors in the back. And now Happy is going to be keeping his units split up. And this is not looking good for Abver. All the tanks in the back. Beautiful tank spread. Infestitans go down, but that is not going to be enough. Even those Infestitans were like 5 supply each, Happy would still have a larger army, and that says a lot. Long distance mining going on. And now once the tanks get in this position, there's no more mining. Abver throws out the GG, and he defended everything so beautifully. But Happy ended up taking that game somehow, some way. His positioning, I wouldn't say it was his macro. He was definitely behind on it. His unit production was good, I believe. We will be looking at that. But it was more of his strategical positioning and the relentless drops. And also, Happy did kind of make a small mistake, not transferring his drone, staying oversaturated, not going to all his bases. So when Happy was on equal number of bases, he had a huge lead because his bases were equally saturated, and he had mules to top it off. So let's go love of inject 10 minute. It'll probably be bad because he had to pull that queen off and miss that inject. So probably 17. That's missing 2 injects. Not good injecting there. Let's go to the unit tiers. This is kind of where we can see Happy's macro. 22 minutes. Let's look. Not the best out of all the templates. You can see a lot more of these little holes. Did he use any supply drops that game? No, he did not. But let's go back and kind of look at those holes, see what they are. So 22 minutes. Let's go back around there. Happy not maxed out. Mistake. No Marines right now. You can see this production. There we go. One gets produced. That's that gap. And I think it happens again because that is a relatively large gap. The next gap will be 15 minutes. And also during that, he is doing a drop. So not macroing while that drop. That's where that mistake does come from. Next one, 15 minutes. So that's about to hit the 15-minute mark, about to produce nothing. And all I'm really looking for is if he ever supply caps himself. That is the main thing I want to see. No supply cap there. He's nowhere near supply cap. And that was like 15:54 that there's a gap in this. I'll pull it back up. There you go. So we're going to be looking at 12:57, 11:37, and 10. So 12, 11, 10. Not 12. So he's always way above his supply, if you've noticed. That's why I'm just checking. See if there's any possibility of him supply cap himself, which there isn't. So very nice not getting supply capped at this level and this age of the game. You're never going to supply cap yourself at pro level unless you are a Panzer General and you can handle being supply capped constantly. APM tab, we should have Happy at more because he is a very fast player. 136 EAPM versus 119. Resources spent. I know I want to look at that one. 15k more minerals and 8k more gas. So 23k more overall from a quick estimate. Going over here, loss tab. Oh, I'm at 8 minutes, of course. Around 17k. So, not too much of a differential there. And phone growths weren't really good that game, so no use in really highlighting them. You had 41 go up, but I didn't really see them killing too much. That's all the ability groups. Hope you guys enjoyed that cast. Take care and subscribe. I have this weird thing where if I don't get enough subscribers or comments on this video, that I can't cast a Liquid versus TLO show match. So subscribe, comment, and if I get enough, my computer will allow me to cast that match. So yeah, it's a BO5. Take care.